We gotta go, okay? We gotta go. We gotta start making moves, and we gotta start saying, hey, here's what's happened, because it's been a long time. It's been a long fucking time. I've been off this shit for 2 months. And look what happened in the meantime. A bunch of things happened, but let's cut right to the chase. Because as Jim Lampley once said, it happened, okay? It happened. And instead of George Foreman going to the corner and bowing and kneeling and praying, I went to the corner and bowed and kneeled and prayed. I didn't buy, because I always say you're not supposed to celebrate death. But it fucking happened. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Okay, she died. And is she a witch? No, she's more of just a giant bowl of porridge. Okay, she's a giant bowl of porridge. Like, what the fuck did she do? This is a very important question on this show thing, on this, whatever you want to call this. It's probably the most important question. What the fuck do you do with yourself? With yourself and for the planet? And I'm concerned about the planet because I want to run the planet. That's why I need it to be in good shape when I take shit over. And if not, if I'm just gonna be living a life of certitude, then nuke the shit. I don't give a fuck. Oh, for my kids, fuck the kids. Fuck the kids. I don't give a fuck if I end up having kids. Fuck the kids. I am the last. It begins and ends with me. Okay. I saw something on one of the inspirational things in our float around, like, dude, for you to be born, it's like, not only do you have to have 2 parents, you have to have 4 grandparents. It's like a fucking lottery bullshit. Yeah, because all these things had to happen. It's like, no, it didn't. It's just 2 people had to fuck. And that had to happen over and over and over and over again. If it was such a miracle, there wouldn't be 7 billion of you. Okay? The whole thing about inflation? You know why? The whole thing with inflation is like there's too much money. Too many people have money. It's like, I have a dollar bill. I say, yeah, well, so do I. Okay? And this happened in like Germany in the Weimar Republic or some shit. And it became a wallpaper. Okay, after the World War, they're like, hey, Germany, you gotta take the bill for this because you guys fucked it up and you lost. You fucking lost. I know, poor, whatever, the thing that sank with the Lusitania. Is that what they call it, the Lusitania? Lusitania fucking sinks. All this kind of shit happens. And they're like, hey, you get the bag of shit, okay? England, France, United States is like, hey, first of all, you gotta give Poland back. Put Poland on the map. Okay, and that's why Woodrow Wilson, all the Polacks love Woodrow Wilson, even though he's a fucking white supremacist, which would kind of mess with the Polish thing because they're like, Polish, yes, the white are the best because they just want to be Polish. They want to be Polish. They want to be white, and the whites are like, yeah, no thanks, just take this fucking mop, all right, and get out into the hallway, and do that for 10 hours, and we'll give you enough to buy, some kielbasa or some shit, right? But other than that, so they go like, Woodrow Wilson is great. He put Poland on the map. Did he put Poland? I don't know. It's the same thing with Napoleon. Like, hey, Napoleon fought first. Polish, but then the whole thing with Napoleon said, he's like, hey, Polacks, I fucking love you, right? Kocham cię, right? But here's the fucking problem. I got a bunch of slaves who are, they're acting up. Okay, because they saw what America did and they're like, oh shit, we can fuck shit up. And then they saw what the French did because the French saw what the Americans did. They're like, oh, they can fuck shit up. Where's the king at? Okay, get me the fucking king, okay? Was it Louis the 27th? Because here's the thing. The first 26 Louis, there was who was the big one? 14? Oh, with Versailles. And because we're going to have Versailles for myself. The Versailles. Okay? We're going to have a giant fucking complex. Like a complex you wouldn't believe. Camp Des. Like Camp David, Camp Des. It's gonna be a whole state. We're gonna turn a whole state. What's the most useless state? That's what's gonna become my complex. Wyoming, right? Because that's the whole thing. I don't want to one-up Kanye. Okay, because Kanye stepped into Wyoming and he's like, hey, Dick Cheney land. This is now Kanye land. Okay, this is where I inhabit. I'm going to be making albums, and it's going to be like 7 songs, 7 this, and I'm going to invite everybody, and I'm going to come out to my complex in fucking Wyoming, and I run this shit now. All right, and I'm going to be like, yeah, you know what, that's great, but guess what, yeah, Kanye, now I fucking run Wyoming. Okay, because now all of Wyoming is my fucking thing. And what we're going to do is maybe we'll tie this into the crypto thing because they're a crypto state. And they're like, hey, we got nothing but fucking mountains. Okay, we got nothing but, we need to have something going for us. Okay, because there's nobody living here. There's nobody fucking living here. There's more people, if you fucking, in the next 10-mile fucking radius, there's like 3 times as many people there. Then they're all in this entire fucking thing in Wyoming. So we're going to go there. We're going to make the Des complex. It's going to be the Camp Des, a.k.a. Des Versailles. We're going to come up with a better name than that. But it was basically so that guy did what he had to do, and it's like, he's a king, he's an asshole. I would have been there throwing the rotten tomatoes, and he would have put me on the rack, and I would have died, and it would have been grotesque. And as they would have been splitting my spleen, like my fucking intestines would have been shredding, I would have been like, you know what? This is fucking hell. This Satan has delivered this by hand himself. At the same time, you gotta respect it. Okay, you gotta respect it. This guy was like the fuck. Was it the Sun King? Why do they call one of them the Sun King? I thought it was the Egypt ship, but then there's one of these guys who's the Sun King, and the idea is like it's like the sun. Every time you put yourself with the sun, okay, that means like it's big. Before they God was the sun. God was the sun, and then because the sun was the biggest thing they knew. Okay, they didn't have Copernicus there. Or no, Copernicus was the other one. The world's round. Who's the first guy who discovered the universe or the ship? Yeah, it was a telescope. It was Galileo. I get all these guys fucking confused. Which one was Galileo? I thought when I was coming up, I thought Galileo was the Apple guy, and the apple fell on his head. But that's the Newton. So who's Galileo? And Galileo's telescope. Yeah, I think so, maybe. So did he figure out who figured out the planets? Who figured out no. Sorry, Copernicus wasn't the world is round. Was he? Copernicus was the Earth revolves around the sun. And then they didn't kill him for that. Because that was kind of like, hey, you're going against soul shit. That sounds like they just killed everybody for anything back then. It was kind of like, it's like it was like North Korea shit right now. All right, it's just like, hey, you walk funny. You walk. We can't have people walk. It's like Stalin shit. Hey, I'm not gonna be like that. Okay, you walk funny. I'm not gonna throw you kill somebody for walking funny. That's stupid. I'm not gonna kill too many. I'm really not gonna kill that many people. I don't think I'm gonna kill anybody. We're gonna sacrifice BZ in the public square, and as is a well established fact. And like I said, do what you want to do with that information. I'm posting that out to you. Okay, I'm sending out like a missile. It's like Babe Ruth calling his shot. I'm saying, hey, out there, center field, and then fucking doing it. And as we're gonna do it with BZ. BZ's gonna be hung upside down by his socks in the fucking in one of these squares. Pick a square, maybe Times Square, or just some square somewhere. And we're gonna dangle them upside down, and for 2 seconds, listen. We celebrated when they fucking did it to Saddam Hussein. Am I saying the bees is better than Saddam Hussein? Here's the thing: Saddam Hussein is probably worse, but to Saddam Hussein, it's kind of like what is Obama. Muhammad Ali. I don't know how that's for that. How you put the two of them in the same fucking sentence? Again, talk about doing stuff. You have a guy who fucking did everything, and then a guy who did nothing but sell us up the fucking river, and then tell us that our drinking water's fine, and it's all in our heads and it's imagination. Muhammad Ali said, "Hey, why are you putting me a gun in my hand and telling me and shipping me off to a foreign land to go kill the yellow man?" He didn't say that. That's a Brucey boy, but he's essentially saying, and he said it in a way that I just to not get myself in hot water. Ain't no Viet Cong ever called me cracker. The word was not cracker, but this is the whole thing. So Saddam Hussein never called me cracker, okay? Beezus never called me cracker too, but Beezus thinks that, Beezus thinks that like Polly wants a cracker, but Beezus thinks I'm a fucking parakeet or some shit. And I'm gonna come eating out of his fucking hands. He's like, I'm on top, and I own everything, and I own all. You what is retail? You want to have a store? I own store. I own the concept of a store. I own the retail. You have to go through me and my bald fucking head. And if that wasn't enough, hey, I own all the servers on the internet. And that's the kind of shit. Like if you use Amazon to deliver you shit, whatever. It's cheap plastic shit. You're gonna pay $98 to the small guy. You want to go and say, hey, I support the small guy. I want to go buy a vacuum from the small vacuum guy, and the guy's like, hey, it's $275, and you're like, do you know what MSRP is? Do you know what MSRP? It says MSRP is like $16. Okay, so your fucking inflation, your rate of what do they call it? Your markup is fucking ridiculous. Okay, your markup is ridiculous. Get your prices down. I get it. You're small, but now you're beating me over the head. That's some mafioso type shit. All right, now you're doing a flex and you're making me your bitch. Just because I had the decency to be like, hey, let me be a Christian brother to this guy. And I'm not saying he has to be Christian. He could be whatever. Zoroastrian. The vacuum salesman. Okay? And it's like, I was trying to be Zoroastrian brother to you and spread kudos or whatever the fuck that religion is. I was in the name of Rachucha. We'll go back to the raccoon gods. In the name of the raccoon god Rachucha, who is our guy. I was gonna spread some love and cheer and Christmas thing, even though it was the middle of July, and shop your thing. And instead of saying, "Hey, thank you, I'll give you half off or whatever," or I'll give you, I'll pay the full price, but don't give me fucking 7 times the price. I get you have to pay rent, and I get that rent is 7 times higher because BlackRock's coming in and buying up all the buildings, and they inflate that shit. And I get that nobody does tumbleweeds to your store. I get that because everyone's going to Amazon and say Amazon you get it for $2. Okay, so at a certain point you're like, okay, I get it. I get why you would buy the $2 vacuum. It's gonna break in 2 days, but I get why you would buy the $2 vacuum as opposed to $200. Okay, but if you're one of these that's the thing too. If like you're one of these web developer cunts, like if you're just sitting at a fucking keyboard all day and going and just typing ones and zeros and all that kind of shit in the brackets and all that, and like website appears and you have all these options. Okay, you have all these options and you're choosing Amazon the service and like, oh, it's the industry standard. Listen, you know what? Gulag time for you. Into the gulag you go. Okay, into the gulag you go. We can't be having that anymore. Like, this is willful fucking. This is why I want to take it over. Because at a certain point, you know, like, again, I'm like, oh, Ryle, you know, like, again, like I said, Desi was standing in front of the Tiananmen Square tank. Okay, and you know what happens there? And do they know what happened to the guy? They don't know what happened to the guy. And they're like, oh, but he's brave. He's dead. He's fucking dead somewhere. Otherwise, they would have known. And the keys is, listen, the CCP keeps this shit under wraps. Like, no, we don't know who you're talking about. Who's who? That guy, we know, no, nobody knows that guy, which is false. Okay, but then maybe does his parents spoke out? Nobody's. This guy's he's not anywhere where he has limbs. Okay, he's not anywhere where he can talk because he has a tongue because they chop that shit off. Okay, they literally. I mean, I know who took the photo. Was it a foreign journalist or was it whoever it is? Did they take the next shot where he gets run over by the tanks? Okay, or the execution video the next day? Did they get that? Because that's what happens here, okay? You speak up and you're like, hey, let's try. And I'm not saying because the government takes you out. I'm just saying like the world in general. You try to plug some good into the world, and there's just the blob comes a rolling, and you just get fucking smushed by it. Like, and it's not even, it doesn't make a great sound. It's not even like some great struggle. It's just like without like you zoom out and you just see the blob rolling, and you don't even hear. It's like alien in space. They don't hear you scream. Well, in the blob, nobody hears you scream. Okay, because it just eats you the fuck up, and you're just like, oh yeah, that's nice. You know, you're trying to be like the Christian and all that shit. Trying to follow the stories that Cheesy Boy was saying. Because Cheesy Boy's like, hey, the lady who gave 2 cents, she gave more than Rich Cunt, right? She gave way more than that guy. So you're trying to be a little lady. But at the end of the day, you got 2 cents, they're going to chew you up, okay? Because you got 2 cents, guess what? You don't have a house, you don't have health care, you don't have all this shit. You have nothing. And you stink, and you're going around the subway things collecting fucking cigarette butts. And why? You don't even, like, I guess at that point you have to smoke. But that's a bad hobby to pick up, a bad habit to pick up if you're homeless. It's like when homeless people ask me about, like, can I get a cup of coffee? It's like, that's the last thing you fucking need, guy. Like, to stay awake, to witness your misery more. Like, you need some food, okay? Like, go with the food. As a sales pitch, you can't go wrong with the food. Because even after a while, it's like, okay, yeah, you know, whatever, you smell, and I'm not laughing at you. It's a horrible fucking situation. I'm always like 2 months away from that. Like, who's kidding who? I'm 2 months away from that shit. So I might be joining you. But if I do join you, if I'm on the train, you know, what I'll do is, like, you know, I'll say, hey, I need to eat food, okay? Do you need to eat food as a human? Yeah, I need to eat food, okay? It's because Maslow. I'll drop the name fucking Maslow. I'll be like, see, like, I deserve to be elsewhere, right? I know what Maslow is. I'm not saying that deserve what, you know, like, you know, your fucking theory that was in some psychology textbook or whatever that is. You get to live, okay? We're not doing like fucking triage, homeless triage based on your fucking intelligence levels. We're not doing that. That's some Hitler type shit. However, I'd be like, hey, listen, all I'm saying is this. I basically try to build a rapport because I don't give a fuck about you. I don't care about you. You know, like I said, good graces, whatever. And you, I mean the person sitting on the train. I need to eat food, okay? So my sales pitch is, yeah, you want to hear my tummy grumble? I'll take the food. You don't want to give me $1? Do you have any leftover food? I'll eat your fucking leftovers, all right? And if you don't even if you don't want to do that, just say, give me $5 for food because I'm fucking starving. And then because I don't have any shoes, I can't just go into Amazon's gonna have all the jobs, and I can't go into an Amazon and be like, hey, can I work in your warehouse? Or maybe they will because they just don't. They're like, hey, do what you want. The drones are watching you. If you die, it'll take 20 minutes to contact your loved ones, which, you know, may have burned you off because you were out on the street in the first place. And it might not even have been your fault. The point of that whole long waiting thing is, don't ask for coffee if you're a homeless guy. I don't know how. I guess a lot of homeless people have phones. I've seen this in the library. They go charge the phone. I don't know. But here's the thing: if you want to just ask me for the food, I'm probably not gonna give you $1 on it because listen. Like I said, I'm 2 months away from you. If I have $1, I might do it. But if you ask me for a cup of coffee, that's a bad. Maybe this is quells your fucking appetite. Because then he's like, oh, okay, now I don't need to eat. Give me like an anorexic guy. Some shit like that. But the point is, roll that all the way the fuck back. You know, ask for food, cause a cup of coffee. There's homeless guys. Okay. Anyway, do the Beezy. Okay, but it has something to do. Okay, Amazon. Oh yeah. Jeez, I'm fucking lost. Okay, the blob rolls you up. Thing, and then okay. But what I was trying to say is, if you use the web server, Amazon, if Amazon powers your service, your web service storage thing. That's how I knew. Like, that's, talk about that's when I stopped being Desi Tiananmen Square. That's when I stopped being like the guy who's standing in front and saying, I will change it, because you fucking won't. And then the objective becomes just drive the tank, because who's usually, the government, we've gone through this, right? This is like Pinocchio shit. This is Pinocchio shit. We live in a fucking society of Geppettos. Okay? And we're all sitting here going, oh, the government and the big bad whale and the whale swallowed us. It's like, yeah, well, maybe it wouldn't be so bad if you were just being like a fucking Debbie Downer in the corner, just going, oh, it's a no use. You fucking like old Italian clown going like, oh, it's a no use. I do it. And your little puppet boy that you fucking made who trying to develop a soul is like, hey, Pops, I got some fucking ideas, okay? It's not the best, okay? But I'm doing what I can with my little fucking young imagination. And he's the imagination that hasn't really been churned up by the world. So you have like the other guy who's just on the, like, talk about the back nine, is on the last hole. This guy's on the last fucking hole. And it's a part 3 and you're like, okay, this is gonna be easy doing. So he's actually probably thinking, hey, I'm actually better off just swimming through this thing's intestines, all right? Having whatever juices churn me up. That's actually probably, is it less pleasurable than dying of a heart attack or whatever the fuck, or having a stroke? Probably it's having a stroke. Having a stroke's gotta be fucking horrible. And if I go back out in this whale, I could fucking drown too. So maybe the acid, the stomach acid, and then the whale poop is actually the best scenario. So maybe it's one of these things where he's not even telling the little puppet boy. He's like, I'm pitting me against you. You want to go try the shit with the salt shaker? Go ahead, okay? And some people are like, oh, that's a wise guy because he tries, and guess who got them out of the whale? Guess who got them out of the whale? It was little fucking, puppet boy who had the idea. And he's like, the salt and the pepper's gonna make them. I don't know why I keep saying salt. Well, salt's not non-fact. Maybe he tried salt and like, hey, we're gonna poison this guy. It was a sodium poisoning, and we're gonna make his heart stop. But then that doesn't solve our problems, because then we still have to crawl out of this fucking thing. Are we crawling out through the intestines? Or we getting shat out, or getting spit out, or whatever? We're like, no, I'm gonna make this cunt fucking sneeze with my pepper. I'm gonna hold pepper to his face, and I'm gonna be like, achoo, 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 achoo. And this clown in the corner is going, hey, it's a no use, because he's projecting all of his fucking weaknesses and insecurities onto this thing, who's like, in this example is fucking me, obviously, the guy with the genius ideas. And you throw some of them against the wall. Like I said, you try seasoned salt, you try fucking turmeric. We talked about turmeric before. You try fucking turmeric. You try Italian seasoning. You try whatever. You try chili powder. Maybe it's gonna irritate his fucking nose, and you end up with the fucking pepper. Even though pepper should be the first one you think if you want this guy sneeze you out. So it's like the guy with the ideas, and then he gets shat on by old guy. You know what I would have done? I would have said, okay, you fucking stay here, saggy balls. Okay, you're staying in the whale. You want a more peaceful death? You want to euthanize? You want to do a Kevorkian on yourself? If this is the equivalent of that, go Kevorkian yourself. Okay, go do that. Okay, I got somewhere to be. Okay, I am a fucking piece of wood who's trying to develop a soul and become something. Okay, so I got years of my life. Like I said, back now, I'm not even on the first hole because I don't have organs yet. Okay, I don't have organs yet. I don't even smell any. I don't even know how I would know the thing about the peppers, because I can't fucking sneeze myself because I'm a block of wood, right? And on fucking strings. So I don't know how I would know that, but all I know is that there's a lot ahead of me, and there's a lot of misery for this kid. Like, this kid will end up being fucking Geppetto in somewhere else. They're gonna go back on land, and it's gonna be fine. He's a boy, and he's gonna repeat the process. Because like if you're molested, you end up molesting a kid and all this kind of shit. You pass on what you inherited. So he's gonna be like, hey, now I will fucking asexually give life. I am something of a fucking Christ-like. I'm like the Virgin Mary kind of, because this dude fucking did the same thing. It's maybe there's a biblical fucking thing to this whole thing. And he's like, I'm gonna make this thing out of nothing, okay? Out of wood, out of a tree that I chopped down. I chopped it down a tree, and then lo and behold, now it has living, breathing cells inside his fucking body. And it's turning, and now it's able to take shits, most importantly. This is pure telltale sign of being alive. Like, sit here and talk about shit for, hours and hours and all this shit, and expand the entire universe of ideas, and it comes down to eating food and shitting. Eating food and shitting becomes the most important fucking thing. And it's still the basic. When all else fails, everybody eats, everybody shits. Okay? Including her fucking majesty. The ding dong, the witch is dead. The witch herself shat. Took many a shit, like stinky fucking shits too. And you're thinking, oh, but she ate well. But that probably means that the shits stank even worse, because, like, you ever try to eat healthy? You're like, oh, I think I'm gonna eat healthy. Or you know what I used to do? Because the whole thing we talked about deodorants on this thing. And for a while, listen, you get to me. I try to think that I'm like, oh, I'm no bullshit. I can deflect. That's a load of shit. Thank you for trying to sell me on whatever, but I can see through your horseshit. I just see that you need to eat food. And congratulations. Again, I'm not shaming you. Go eat food, okay? You know what? Sometimes I'll be like, here's $10 for whatever the fuck you're selling. Go enjoy some teriyaki or whatever it is. Go fucking do it. You're welcome, all right? But at the end of the day, I'm susceptible. I'm susceptible to certain things. And one of them is that, because I'm a hypochondriac, and they're like, hey, this whole thing with the aluminum, like, you're basically putting fucking aluminum foil, but somehow it's also, like, cancerous or whatever the fuck, whatever bad shit it gets into your bloodstream. And you're like, but they need this to maybe it clogs up your thing, it clogs up your, whatever the fuck, your pores. I don't know how this, I'm not a deodorant fucking scientist. Is that a title? Imagine that being your job title, being like, I am a deodorant scientist. And you know what, to be honest with you, that'd be like a great party. Like, that's what, I'm actually going to start saying that if I go out in public, because I need a new answer every time, because I need to start being a bit more sadistic, because I end up saying the thing, I'm like, yeah, you don't understand because I'm trying to build an empire, but I'm not going to drop the thing, not to spill the idea, but I'm not going to drop the thing of the empire, because people are like, oh, and they're going to look down on me. And it's like, no, I need you to look up and fear me, okay? So what I should really do is, like, shoot you in the fucking foot or some shit when you ask me that shit. But in light, before we get to that level of aggression, because we will ramp up towards the year 2027, but for right now, I think I'm just going to invent a new job title every week, and that's going to be my next one. Deodorant engineer, okay? Deodorant scientist, okay? Deodorant science. And then I just bullshit. I'm good at that. I can bullshit out of my ass for the next 45 minutes. Say, hey, so basically, I mean, do I strike you as a deodorant scientist? Probably not. You'd be like, yeah, show me your fucking science degree. And I just pull up, like, the hours that I spent on Wikipedia. I'm like, you remember that site, How Stuff Works? When I was a kid, before I had Wikipedia, I was on howstuffworks.com. And I got a fucking certificate from that shit. So I'll pull that shit out from wherever the fuck it is, and I'll show you that. You want to see my card carrying? I'm a card carrying member of the Magic School Bus Scientific Experience, which to me, or Bill Nye the Science Guy. So my shit is equivalent to your NASA, whatever the fuck. If I wanted to level up on the person, right? But anyway, so I don't know how the deodorant science works. But at a certain point, the aluminum swims into your shit, clogs it up, and you don't stink, but I guess you also get cancer or tumors or whatever it is. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try this other shit. I'm like, this shit's made out of beeswax, whatever it is. This beeswax deodorant. And holy fuck! And then somebody texted me. Somebody tweeted recently, and they said, "Hey, you got to give it some time. You can't just expect it to work. Your body's got to adapt to it." I'm like, that's a load of shit, because this thing, it combined with the body odor, and it was like fucking leaving cabbage. It was like drowning cabbage in baby soup. Like if you made a soup of babies and just let it fucking rot there. Like, it's like, say you like you did all that, you left it out in the street in a garbage bag, and then like today, like what happens, you leave it out on Monday and you're like, oh, I forgot it's Labor Day, and you're like, oh, but they'll come by and get it tomorrow. But meanwhile, Friday comes around and there's this fucking stench in the air because they still haven't come around to collect this shit. That's the kind of shit we're talking about, okay? But not only that, that's mixed with your body odor now. So not only is it and with the original scent of whatever honey bullshit, whatever. So you're like, fuck, this deodorant thing really, this aluminum thing really makes a big difference, because I deserve to be shot. Like, if I went on the train with that, I thank God I never did, because I did 2 whiffs, and I'm like, this is fucking putrid. What is growing? Like, it smells like something's growing, like, populate, like, and like, I'm just trying to be fucking natural. And it's, maybe it's natural because it's like you're fucking decomposing. That's what it fucking smelled like. It smelled like fucking, what's it called, rigor mortis? Fucking rigor mortis. That's what it so I'm like, no thank you, give me the Reynolds wrap, okay? Give me the fucking liquid Reynolds wrap that you charge $9 for now, because you're like, oh, inflation, and then meanwhile it's gonna hit the double digits. You're gonna walk in, and then because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna have a fucking pitchfork rally. You're gonna say, hey, that's it, okay? They're charging $10 for deodorant. I'm gonna go kill somebody. You're not gonna do anything. You're gonna passively fucking accept it. And if it means homelessness, if it's between homelessness and chilling with the guy who's asking for coffee instead of food, or fucking fighting back, you're gonna go with homelessness, right? Because you just eat it. And that's what I'm saying. So not only do you eat it, but now we're bringing back the point before. Not only do you eat it, but you're Geppettoing this whole shit, right? So all these people saying, the people getting us down, and the government's like, says the guy who has the fucking Amazon Web Service shit, right? You deserve slavery so much. You just deserve, and I'm not talking about like whips and chains, fucking, slavery. That's in the past permanently. But like we said, for menial task, because that's what listen, wage, what is it called, wage slavery, whatever it is. Like, listen, all this shit is essentially slavery. Like, you get paid for it, but what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Pay doesn't go up. Pay doesn't go up, but you still want the piece of paper, right? Because you're afraid of being homeless. So you say, hey, yeah, I will shuffle your papers like you've never seen it before. You've never seen the way I did this, and your earnings are the same, up and down, and it doesn't matter because the Fed put money in, did the Fed not put money in? That's all that fucking matters, okay? Do you own the house? Do you not own the house? Do you have assets that are going to grow in value, or are you just fucking every fucking month, burning a fucking briefcase every fucking month, calling it cost of living, but you just have no equity and ownership in fucking anything? Is it that? Yeah, it is that. But I'm afraid because I'm in that thing. I'm afraid because I don't have anything, like I said. So if they come for my shit, I'm donezo. So yeah, I will shuffle your papers for you. Give me a fucking you name the price. Okay, you name the price. Did I ever tell that anecdote? I'm gonna go off on another fucking thing. And after a while, we're gonna have to wrap this up because it's already fucking half an hour. Did I ever tell you this story? Did I ever tell you the story? Back in the day, okay, Desi Senior and Desina Senior. Just for the sake of the story, we were just looking for an automobile. Okay, now I was just too young to drive. Little Desi is just in a back seat, and it's just like, hey, this looks cool, with no concept of money. I'm like, yeah, get that one, because I didn't have no. I'm not doing. Hey, what's the MSRP on that? I didn't know the words MSRP at that. All I knew was, hey, it looks cool out. This one makes a cool sound. This one goes, and this one's got a bit more. I'm like, yeah, get the one, right? We're going around shopping for this fucking thing for a new car. Because we own shit, we were leasing the shit. So we're like, hey, the lease is up on this one, let's go get the lease. And hey, I heard good things about this, I heard good things about that, okay? And I'm tagging along and I'm giving my fucking 2 cents. It doesn't matter. It's disregard, as it should be, because you should have no input. It's like you're in the fucking, you're gonna make the fucking growth. Why don't you go mop the floors and then contribute to the fucking car fund, okay? Before you open your fucking mouth. Regardless. They're going to shop for a car, the folks, okay, and then they're like, we're going around. We did this one dealership, and then we end up in this unnamed. The dealership is unnamed. I'll name it because it doesn't really fucking matter. But and the guy says, hey, talk about it wasn't even used cars. It was like real new cars, new cars to lease, but it was like new, and it's like, hey. But he's apart from that, he's a fucking used car salesman. Hey, how's it going today? Today's your lucky day, and blah 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 blah. And it's like, and guess what? And today's and blah, blah. And we're driving around. First of all, this thing sucks, and this was like number one on the list. We do the test drive, and we're hearing all these fucking sounds, and it's kind of like, okay, the Irish half of me is like, cars blowing up is a thing for me. Okay, do I really want to go out like that? I mean, again, quick and painless, Geppetto way. Maybe it beats fucking Alzheimer's. Okay. But do I really want to be blown up? Especially now, like I said, I had the 18 holes in front of me, and I I realize now I'm using fucking golf analogies, but maybe it's fine to use the analogy. It's fine to fucking play. I don't give a shit. Whatever. It doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying. Whole life ahead of me. I don't want to die in a back seat, okay, in fucking rubble. And this would have been struck in 9/11. So things exploding was kind of there was a non-zero. If it was not a non-zero chance, it was not a non-zero factor in your head. It was always so, regardless of where you were. You're picking up a tomato in a fucking fruit store. Is this thing gonna blow up and kill me? No, it's not. But everyone was just thinking that because it's like, oh shit's just fucking blowing up all over the place, but most importantly, in our own fucking city. So now it's everything. Mortality, the sense of mortality is everywhere. So we're like, hey, it's making funny sounds, whatever. But like, let's sit down with this guy, okay? And then it's like, all right, now let's talk business, okay? How much is this thing, okay? First off, fucking question. And this guy goes, well, what did I say before? I said it was your lucky day. It's your lucky day, okay? And you know why it's your lucky day? Because you get to name the price. He goes, you get to name the price. And now it's some bullshit they put in the window, and his manager's like, yeah, make sure you tell them you name the price, right? It's like, that'd be great, guy, except I, talk about MSRP. I need to know what the ballpark is, okay? Because, what am I going to do? Fucking, if I name a price that's higher than what it is, you're just going to be like, oh, yep, that's what it is. So is that what it is? It's just like, guess the fucking price. And he's like, you name it. It's like, so what's the price of the car? What does it go for? Because that's the whole thing, right? Like, I start with that information, and then we haggle and negotiate, okay? Maybe you can knock a couple of, not even a couple of zeros. Just knock 10 fucking bucks a month or some shit, And then it's like, okay, it wasn't really a deal at all. But hey, you got to say you did a deal, and you did your promoter, and you're going to get a pat on the back, and everyone's going to be fucking happy. And you did your job, and you got a fucking lease or a sale, whatever it was. But you give me, what's the information? Okay, and now today you just Google this shit, right? This is before that. So it's like, hey, he's like, hey, you name the price. And it's like, yeah, I get the promo. And this is the folks. The folks were, they're not like, okay, well, like, we get the shtick, okay, but what is what's the price of the car? And then we'll go. He's like, oh, you name the price. Like, yeah, okay, now, guy, it's like, now we're going into territory because I'm asking you for the fucking price, okay? And now you're saying, and he's like, oh, but that's our thing. He's like, okay, so, and he goes, and my pops goes, you know what? Fine. You want to do this game? How about $100 a month? And it's clearly something that was like more than 100 or whatever it is. Like pick a number, whatever it was. I don't remember the fucking number. It was like pick like a quarter of what the thing was. He's like $100, and he goes, "Oh no, $100. That's great." And as he's writing, he's like, "My boss will laugh," but he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Why? Why is your boss gonna laugh? Why is your boss gonna laugh? What's the fuck? Is it because it's significantly below the price of the car? Why don't you tell me what the fucking price of the car is? Why you go? So you're gonna have to feed it to your fucking boss." right? Who's gonna come back and say, oh, well, the actual price of the car, which is the information that everybody should fucking know. Why are you hiding it? Well, give me the fucking okay, give me the fucking price of the car. Give me the fucking price of the car. Give me the fucking bro. What's the fucking price of the car? Like I said, today solved in 2 seconds. You can go on fucking Google. But today's like, what is the price? And he goes, like literally like that. He goes, you see, I think it would be better if you name the price. And he just fucking that was it. It's bad enough the thing, like I said, was about to explode. And I was like, that's it. Okay, the Desi family, and we'll call it that for now. The Desi family was like, enough of that shit. What's next on the list? Because this guy's a fucking clown. Now, I don't know how I got into that story. Now, this is a fucking problem. You name the price. Where did I get into the you name the price? Some shit. Whatever. The point I really wanted to make here, okay? If you're somebody who fucking uses this shit, you know, and I'm not saying, like I said, if you want to get $2 fucking sushi, whatever, $2 sushi ingredients, sushi rice maker, get all this shit for $2 and have BZ stroke his fucking bald head, be, you know, like the fucking Buddha or some shit, like, you know, like, because every time he makes when he scratches his head all the fucking day, the guy's a bajillionaire. You want to go ahead and do some shit like that because whatever, whatever. You want to go ahead and use this shit and give him more shit. But like I said, that's what, and you tell people, hey, you can do it by yourself. This whole thing with Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's like, yeah, people are like, oh, it's a scam, and it's like, yeah, well, it wouldn't be a scam if you looked at it and said, oh, shit, you know what we can do now? You know, we can fucking program money. So you know that system of money that's fucking me in the ass that I won't be honest about because I think, hey, I'm going to be this guy, I'm going to be that guy, I'm going to get this promotion, I'm going to get, you know what the thing is fucking me ass? We can fucking change that shit now, but what we got to do is you got to, you know, and look what people did. They just said, and these are like the libtard fucking crowds doing like, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you had a chance to make fucking society, not even libtards, like the left fucking people too. And be going like, but then to be fair, then the right people would just they go like, it was like this fucking dream of like, what's the the name? Like I never read the books, but you know, the gist of it that I get because everyone talks about this. And Rand, when everyone just thinks they're like, hey, those miles, you know, individual. Listen, I gotta agree because I look, I'm trying to start my own fucking empire. Okay, I'm trying to start. It's about me, but it's about me, like I said, because I was trying to be the other guy. I was trying to be the guy in front of the tank, and I said, you know what? The name of the game is to be as big as you are. We're going go bigger. We're going to double. Like I said, Kanye, that's nice property you got. Guess what? It belongs. It's now under the Versailles fucking thing, the Des Versailles thing. I own fucking Wyoming now. Okay, that's all mine. So I guess I'm like one of these fucking figures, but I know it's a crock of shit. Like there's people who are like, yeah, I will someday, and they're like living this fucking fantasy. It's like you're fucking pathetic. So I get why it's like, but see, then the whole thing is now we're talking about the reputation of the people behind what it is instead of the actual thing. What is the thing? Can the thing help us out? And it's there. There's an answer there. Let me put it to you. Maybe there's no answer there, right? But if you ever wanted to actually change something, there's probably a bigger answer there than there is anywhere else. Because where else are you going to get that kind of like a chance to get one back at the government? Be like, hey, I won't even use your dollars, asshole. Okay, because you're telling me I can't get any of my fucking dollars. You're saying, hey, I'm doing this paper, right? I do these sheets of paper, but we can't have a bazillion sheets of paper. We can't make it wallpaper like we said in the Weimar fucking Republic or whatever it was called. In between the is a republic, Weimar Republic, it was a republic, and then it became very clearly became not a republic, okay? But the whole thing was like, we're using this wallpaper because it's literally cheaper than the fucking thing. The paper wall, I'm just gonna put the fucking dollars on there. We can't have that happen. So we have to take some of these out of circulation. We gotta burn some of this shit, right? And we're gonna keep pumping it out because we gotta keep doing that to make the rates and all this kind of stuff. But we gotta pull. Are we gonna pull it from the BZs of the world? No. They're gonna throw fucking money at them. We're actually gonna make printer go brrr even more to get them to move the factory to wherever the fuck it is. Because they're saying, hey, we can go off to fucking India. We can go, and they're gonna go anyway. Because they're like, hey, we're not beholden to whatever. And they're like, they're an American company when it's good for them, and they're not when it's not. All these industries are making monopolies for themselves. I know that Amazon's gonna buy all the monopolies, but any of these things being taxed, no, that's why they're monopolies because they really have more power because they can just sway these little cunts. And they're like, hey, how much you making as a congressperson? Why don't I fucking give you like 10 times that, okay? And like, oh, and the airheads are in there, and it was like, oh, airheads, or maybe really smart people because this is a great career. Like we said, we're trying to get the whole. If that was me, I'd be taking money left and right. Give me the fucking money, and then maybe I'll do whatever, and then maybe I'll get shot, and maybe I'll be shot on the steps of the fucking Capitol. You know what? Something exciting. Or am I talking about something exciting? Like that's about as exciting. Go out in a fucking blaze of glory. That's what I do. I do want to go out in a blaze of glory somehow. I was talking with a buddy, and there's another maybe an idea. Maybe I'll work. Maybe I'll give him a cut. Maybe this could be our path to get into the thing. The death by fireworks. Maybe not death by fireworks. Like fireworks funerals. Okay, I fucking hate fireworks. But you know what? Here's the thing. I told you because it's like I'm not a fucking goldfish. I go on this rant every single year when there's fireworks. I'm like, hey, I've seen it before. I'm not retarded. Okay, I like to think maybe I'm a bit retarded, but like I like to think that I'm you know, and I'm not even like advanced or whatever. Like literally, the shit goes boom and it's in the sky. It's not. I've never looked at it and be like, you know what? You know what? I thought just when you think you get sick and tired of it, you see it. It's like no, it's the same exact shit. It's the same. Oh, but this one was green and this one was blue. Is that? Oh, that's really it. You know what? Like I gotta like all these people who died. All these people who died, like, knowing one day, like, all these blobs standing in front of all these Tiananmen Square tank people who are like, one of these days, you know, the revenge will be the laughter of our children, and your child is not laughing because they're just going, transfixed on lights blown up in the fucking sky to simulate fucking war. Because as if there wasn't enough of that to cause by fucking America already, you know? It was as if there wasn't enough of that. It's like, hey, you know, I'm surprised they don't actually just blow up the actual, like, you know what they should do? What they should do, like, if I'm being, like, the Desi consultant hats on, go to, like, who's like, Halbert? Who are the weapons people? Oh, Raytheon? Who are the weapons companies, right? Just go to the weapons companies and say, hey, fire off your own weapons into the sky. So that's kind of like a way of saying, hey, it not only is it just a total fucking waste, it's like, this is our military might, and you have a thing that says sponsored by whatever your company is, and it's like, you supply this shit and whatever, and it's like, this is what's going everywhere. This is what backs your dollar, really, force of fucking will, and being able to just, you know, manipulate, as I say, hey, you know, invade there, stop them there. There's like this, we have the fucking might. Might is right, okay? So work that shit into there. But if you're not gonna do that, I think what we could do is this, okay? If you're gonna go ahead and be a retard every fucking 4th of July anyway and go, look at fireworks, big loud noise. You're gonna fucking do that anyway. We should roll it into the funeral industry, okay? And what you do is like, so I as much as I hate fireworks, I would love to be like, you know, forget buried. Like, why would you want to be buried? You know, like, and you could be cremated, but then what if you're alive when the cremated? I don't know, like, whatever. Put me in a fucking firework. And fucking Evil Knievel, no, Evil Knievel was the bike guy, or was he the cannon guy? Just cannon my fucking ass out of a cannon. Firework my ass to death, but I'll be dead already. I'm not landing these. Let me land one, okay? Put my fucking dead body in a firework and blow my, no, I was gonna say blow my ass out of a cannon. I'm gonna take the L on this one, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, okay? Bits of deaths, but not actual. You can cremate us before. We'll have to come up with the logistics, okay? But this is kind of like, that's a silly. Oh yeah, I would pay top dollar. First of all, it's dollars that don't even fucking matter. People pay plots in fucking in the graveyard, okay? So it's like an extension of the suburban fucking lifestyle. Now it's like keeping up with the Joneses beyond death, okay? So this fucking blob doesn't even die when you die. Okay, so now it's like rivaling God, because the whole thing with God is like, oh, your spirit, your soul lives on. Yeah, you know what else lives on is the fucking blob and the keeping up with the Joneses suburban horse shit, the white picket fence dog shit, right? That goes on after you die, because now we're having neighbor wars with who's buried fucking where and how much was, oh, and what's yours made out of? Well, mine's marble. Well, mine's a Brazilian mahogany, whatever the fuck it is, right? So now you're fucking having this thing with whoever after death. You're not even, you're dead. You're dead. But you're planning for like the after party, whatever. And you're not planning, like that's the whole thing. These people also believe in heaven. They believe in heaven, but it's like, but I'm also thinking, so it's like, if you believe in heaven, that's it. What's above that? Like you're like, oh, heaven, but back down on earth, I would like to have a fucking nice marble. Like, what are you like? What the like? This is why none of this shit nobody connects the dots here when it comes to that kind of shit, right? It's all safety in the face of death, but I'm also gonna be a greedy fucking asshole and all this kind of shit. Now, you're talking to the biggest greed. I'm not saying pointing finger. I'm the biggest fucking greedy, egotistical piece of shit on the planet. That being said, if that's not ridiculous, then you know what? Firework funeral services is nowhere near ridiculous. I would pay, sign me the fuck up. Put it on I'll max out my fucking credit card. Because after I'm dead, like, who's gonna come collect that? Who's gonna come collect that? Maybe it falls on, but like I said, listen, well, you know what it is? Or maybe we're dying airless. And even if I do have an heir, like I said, I am the last generation, okay? The boomers, all these boomer people, like to think that, hey, it was like, it begins and ends with us. And so now all these people who, the kids and all the offspring, it's like, it's all in relation to them. And it's like, hey, my kid's doing this. It's like, hey, you know, assholes, you're not the last generation, okay? But I am the last generation. And then, so I'm taking that Instagram advice I was saying earlier before. Oh, it's such a miracle that you're alive because you have 500 bajillion great grandparents. Okay, that means I'm going to take this shot. I'm going to fire this shot. I got the lotto ticket. I'm cashing it in, baby. I'm going as high as I can fucking go. Fuck you, kid. Whoever it is, to my son, daughter in the future, if it ever happens, by accident or on purpose, fuck you. I love you, possibly, maybe I don't. Maybe you're just a piece of shit. Maybe you're really, maybe I obligatorily love you. Where it's like, by love I mean like I have to take care of you. I'll change your diapers, all that kind of shit. But there's actually a very high chance that I wouldn't like you, because if you're not liking me, I'll be like, we got nothing in common. I don't know what do I do with this thing, all right? And if he or she's exactly like me, then it's like, well, I hate myself. So then I see myself in you. So it's a lose-lose situation, okay? Future son or daughter. But it's the Desi show, okay? And you're not, and to make it very fucking clear, there's not gonna be no Des Jr. You're not gonna junior your way into this. You're not gonna be like, yeah, well, my dad was, so I'm gonna use. It's like, no, you're on your fucking own. You start with a teepee, okay? On Versailles in Wyoming, you're like, yeah, Dad, can I have some space? Yeah, you'll have a teepee in the fucking woods, okay? And you'll build it yourself with your rocking horse. You have a rocking horse right outside your teepee, okay? And you have to figure out, like Bear Grylls, like, how am I gonna do this fucking the teepee lifestyle, okay? How am I going to survive out here? Okay, and it's going to be character building exercise. In addition to you sitting on your rocking horse and thinking about shit. Okay? What you're thinking about should not be counting my money or power or whatever it is. How can I maneuver my dad's name into something that, we don't do sons of here. We don't do sons of. Okay, so now somehow connecting that, I'm all this shit's going into a tree. I'm going all the way the fuck back to, she's dead. Okay? It happened. It fucking happened. Now, I don't even know. Like, I guess I don't even actually have anything to say. I was probably like, hey, next time you turn this on, because it's been a couple months, I'm like, hey, you're gonna have to address this thing. But there's really nothing left to say. The pageantry is becoming fucking self-apparent. Okay, the biggest scam ever perpetrated, I think, maybe in human history. It's up there. There's some really massive scams. Like. People say like religion is a scam, and a lot of it is. It's really scammy. It's kind of like, religion is it's like Bitcoin. Talk about Bitcoin. It's like, it's really, there's a lot of scammy shit there, but it's like, at the heart of it is something, or at least could be something. Let's put it that way. It could be something. Like, you can't fool, what is it, Bob Marley? We can't fool all the people all the time, right? So the idea is, and maybe you can. Maybe you fucking can. Maybe this is part of the Desi thing is like, how many people can we fool? How many people can we sell? How many people can we throw under the bus to make sure Dez is in place numero uno, on this planet? So maybe we're challenging you, Bob Marley. Maybe from the grave, from I don't think he has maybe did you firework yourself to death? Did you get yourself a nice grave platter? Probably, I imagine not. But then even then, he'd probably be like overly humble. He'd be like, hey, this is good grave made out of hemp. Talk about hemp made shit. It's made out of hemp, and then just burn me, and then we'll have the Rastafari right there. But the Rastafari is a good example. Like, is that all a scam? It's like, well, no, but there's scamsters in all these religions. But the heart of it is something, right? Possibly. Maybe not. Maybe there's nothing. Maybe it's all big heart of darkness or whatever. Whatever you want, big black hole, okay? Or white hole. I'm not gonna get a fucking thing about this. I just hear like Dr. Umar's, voice in my head going, okay. So maybe this is all just all a void. Maybe we're all deluding ourselves. But hey, without the delusion, without any sort of illusion, then we are just fucking androids. But like there might be something there. So that can't be scam. Like the royal shit is scam numero uno. Like that is fucking like So I was making this analogy. This is one of the things I want to say. If you got sucked into Amway or some shit like that, like one of these MLM shit, the multi-level marketing type shits, right? If you got stuck selling fucking Tupperware or one of these things, I have to have a Tupperware party, but no, everyone's canceling, and it was COVID, and I couldn't have my Tupperware party. Now I got a garage full of fucking Tupperware. At least with Tupperware, you could use it, okay? It's not like you're trying to fucking sell off-market fucking granola for 3 times the price, and like, oh, but it's a great brand. What's the brand? It's, and it's like XRG or, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like some kind of thing, like, oh, and you're like, this looks vaguely familiar, but it looks because you're like trying to copycat. Like it'll be like they try to copycat like Kind, but they'll call it like like nice granola, and you're like, somebody's off with this. This is something I've never seen somebody actually eat this. I've seen some people eat shit. It looks like it, and it's half the price. Okay, so what are you selling me? What you're selling me is your way out. Okay, you need to get somebody under, but you never fucking sell it. You just get somebody underneath you and you Ponzi them downwards. Okay. So if you bought into fucking Amway, and maybe look, I just talk about Bitcoin, and I said maybe there's something there, maybe there's something there, maybe we all just bought it. I don't fucking own any Bitcoin as of fucking right now, but it's like maybe people who even think that there's a sliver of a possibility of someone in there, maybe they're buying the scam too. So maybe it's that, but there's no CEO of Bitcoin. But let's just say you bought into the Amway shit, and the CEO of Amway fucking dies, okay? And I go, haha, because like that's funny to me. Do I ever celebrate a human death? I try not to. I try not to. But I'm not gonna be like fucking pissed off I think it's totally neutral. I think it's totally legit to be like either neutral or even a little bit joy. Be like, you know what, the planet's better off without him. Let's be fucking honest. Like, and we didn't have a hand in doing that. The only one gonna have a hand in is BZ, and we gotta fucking cut it there. And I'll be in charge. So I'll make sure it cuts there, because otherwise you just have fucking revolution, and revolution is just messy. It's like, oh my god, now hey, who's next? And then you just start fucking killing all these people for the wrong. We're not gonna do that, okay? So he'll be the only one that I have a fucking hand in. But all these other guys, I guess we just have to wait. Like when fucking Rupi Marsupi, our buddy Rupi Marsupi dies, it's kind of like, yeah, maybe it's good that he's gone. And again, power moves, power flex, you gotta respect it. And we talk about our guy who runs all the media shit, who runs everything now, because it's Disney's now Fox and all this kind of stuff, and it's all one company, it's all Amazon, right? So all these kind of things. When he dies, it's gonna be like, all right, I think we're all better off, right? I think that was kind of better. So when the Queen dies, it's like, yeah, were we better off? No, but it's like, oh. Because it's funny to me, because it's like the charade is over. It's a TV show. Essentially, the TV show. She's not an old lady who takes smelly shits. She's this and that. And it's like, don't step on the Flava type shit, right? Where everyone just goes, and Emperor's new clothes. Queen's new clothes. Queen's naked, okay? She's not wearing any clothes. You see her saggy tits, okay? You see it all. Okay, it's all on display. Oh no, but she wears it, and it's this and it's that. But see, here's the thing. They go, like, how dare, like, first of all, the time and the place shit. They're like, the time and the place. Give me the fucking time and place. Okay? Give me the time and place. I will be there with my fucking sign. And if you're gonna designate that to be the time and place, I will make sure you fucking know. Remember what they did with the Coney shit, with like the Rap the Night or whatever the fuck it was called, with Coney, when a guy came out and said, hey, this dude Coney in Africa is doing some child soldier shit. Okay, Coney the Pony or whatever it is. We're gonna we're gonna spread the night or whatever. We're gonna have one night where everyone like lights this shit up. And obviously the State Department or whatever, or whoever just got involved, like, get this guy out of the equation. Okay, he's some guy. Have him. Didn't he have the video of him like walking down the street like losing his mind, naked and shit, like going like having a fucking mental breakdown? They put something in his tostada. Okay, something was put in there, and he lost his morals. Okay, and it's coincidence. Maybe he was trying to make something pop, and he realized he was dealing with a bunch of people who, like I said, don't give it, like Geppettos. He was dealing with the Geppetto society. So maybe he was his own stress. Maybe sometimes life works in weird ways like that, and there was actually no fucking conspiracy. Maybe Building 7 did just, maybe it was actually just for fires and unstable. Maybe that's what. Maybe all these things is a very fucking big possibility. Is there also a sliver of possibility that somebody got to him because they're like, yeah, we can't have this. We can't have like fucking people asking for shit. Okay, we run this shit globally. What you can ask for is a fucking what size latte do you want? Okay, talk about tostada. What kind of a tostada you want? Okay, that's what you can ask for. You can't ask for anything above that. You want to ask for healthcare? Now you're already asking too much. You want to ask for me to do something on behalf of you globally? Well, it better line up with this. Oh, you don't like what Russia's doing on Ukraine? Well, you fucking lucked out, because that's one of the three that we've greenlit, and we said that's okay. You can protest this. That's why everyone and their fucking mother, even if you're selling like linens online, linens.com, stamps.com, all these things. Look at the logo now, right now. Stands with the people of Ukraine, which is great. And again, like I said, Slavo fucking Ukraine. As a Polak, it's like kill the bastard. Not kill the bastard. We don't do. But hey, but listen, you're being killed. You gotta protect your fucking land, okay? But like I was saying before, there's a bunch of other people who said the same shit, but they weren't greenlit, and it wasn't convenient. You don't see any Palestinian flags fucking for any of these sites, okay? Because that's all. And now, wait, who and what? Oh, sorry, I have to go because I have a meeting with blah blah blah. Just trail off and run away. But anyway, so the CEO, scrolling it back, Emperor has no clothes, Queen's CEO of Amway dies, and I hear that, and I'm like, yeah, that's because it's funny to me. It's funny, a guy who, again, is it funny? Like, I'm celebrating his death? No, but it's like, hey, probably for the better. Hey, probably good. And you go, oh, some decency and respect. You bought into the scam. It's a you problem. Okay? Because I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you can check this anyway, if there's any sort of records. See how many people die every fucking day. Okay? Talk about the State Department. And it's not always our fault. But talk about wars and shit. Shit that's our fault. Shit that's not our fault. Whatever. People die a lot. And it's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. No, people die of natural. People die in fucking whales' stomachs. And people die of Alzheimer's, like we said. People stroke. A lot of people die every day. And there's a lot of good people that die of it that I never heard of. Okay? I've never heard of them. Okay? I've heard of this person. And what did she do? She sat on a chair for 75 years. Or whatever it is. She sat on a chair. And now she has a kid who's totally fucking inept. I was kind of joking before. I made a joke on this thing all the way back. I say, this guy would be fucked. Because there was one thing of, the nurse bowing before him. And I'm like, the nurse does 20 times. Okay, so I just realized another thing. But I'll save that for the next podcast. I'll save that for the boxing corner because I was going to talk about the fight that got canceled. The four best women fighters in the world, arguably. We're about to have a fight. And the worst time, talk about time and place. The worst place and time to have it when she just fucking drops dead like a normal fucking human being. After 96 years of eating food and taking shits, okay? This thing dies. And it's like, oh, okay, for me, it's like another old person just died. But somebody brought into this scam because they're scam artists. They pull, and listen, they inherited the scam. It's not like they hatched this up. So that's why I kind of feel bad for them to a certain extent because they're just born into this shit. And I seen this guy, Harry, and I was shitting on this guy, Harry. I'm like, I'm supposed to feel bad for you and her because you left, and he's making a fucking point. He made a good. He's like, listen, my mom died. Okay, my mom died in a fucking tunnel because they were chasing her because the paparazzi wanted a fucking piece. And I guess look. Paparazzi comes to territory with all this kind of stuff, right? It's like you have to factor that in, but that doesn't mean you can't factor in like, that doesn't in any way warrant what fucking. That was fucked up what happened. And then she chased it, and then he says, "Hey, I'm seeing some shit with my wife. Okay, I already lost one woman in my life. I see my wife going places, and it's not good, and it's no bueno. And I'm trying to get help from these guys, and they're lost." The nurse thing. Okay, so now let me finish the nursing. The nurse thing, remember when he was bowing, I said, this guy's useless? This guy's actually fucking useless. Did you see him when he's like, they're like, he needed the thing moved, and he couldn't fucking move it himself? Move it your fucking self. You have hands. But he's so deeply entrenched in this scam, he believes it himself. So it's not even a scam. Like, is it a scam if you believe it to yourself? You know what I mean? Or is that a cult? Because like the Georgetown, whatever the guy's name is, the Jonestown guy, he believed that shit himself, So is that a scam? Is he like, oh, I've got these guys? Maybe it was. Maybe he's just really stout with that. But if you believe it, then you just whatever it is. But this guy's like, oh, I can't fish the letter out of the fucking trash can. Okay, do it yourself, asshole. Do it yourself. I'm not even talking about like repair work. Sometimes repair work, like I genuinely don't know because I'm an idiot. Like there's a lot of shit. Like I told you, I'm learning how like fucking toilets actually work. Because you and you think you know, and you think you know this, you think you know that, and you're like, actually, I didn't know shit. Make a rocking horse. Wouldn't be able to help you. This is why it's helping me as much as everybody else with this whole rocking horse thing. But the whole idea is this, okay? You're trapped in these scenarios. You don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You're useless, okay? So now, fast forward the story. Harry's asking this guy. He's like, hey. My wife's not doing good because everybody wants a piece of her. And that's another thing with human beings, right? Let me hold on because he says this eventually. They're like, hey, she's not doing well. I need help from you guys. We need to figure something out because I can't lose another woman in my life. And second, most important woman now the most important. So two most important women people. And I can't do that, okay? And mumbles, retard in a garçon. That's what I call him. I call him garçon. Because if I ever see him, it's like, hey, shine my fucking shoes, garçon. I'm gonna start calling all these guys garçon. Anybody who's got like this whole thing, like they walk, again, humans who eat and take shits, or smelly, stinky, disgusting shits, diarrhea. Humans who have ever had diarrhea are gonna walk around like they're fucking, like spirits, like they're fucking above me. I don't give a fuck where you're wearing, where you live, what it is. I don't give a fuck. Garçon, shine my fucking shoes. So garçon, we're talking about garçon over here. And garçon is clueless. Pops. Fucking clueless. And he goes, and this guy Harry goes, he's like, oh yeah, and he's like, we need to do something. Because guess what? All these people, and this is the line. He goes, all these people want a piece of her, and they're not going to stop until she's dead. And that's 100% fucking true. Look at what happened to Michael Jackson. Look at what happened to Amy Winehouse. And I'm not even being like holier than thou, because I was looking up, is Amy Winehouse dead yet? Was a website. It was called is Amy Winehouse dead yet.com. And I would go on that shit. I would go on and I'd be like, oh, not that. And then she had the mess and you're like, oh, Amy. And then it's like, hey, late night fucking thing is going, hey, this is Amy Winehouse. Comments, all this shit. Michael Jackson, pedophile, this, and maybe that's true. So, like, I'm not going to fucking say this. But the point is, once they died, my friend, and she's, asshole, I remember what you were doing. It's like the people now who, because like I said, with the whole thing with Afghanistan, back if you said 20 fucking years ago, whenever we got into this shit, we're like, hey, don't do the Afghanistan shit. People would essentially, it was like they were decorated and they had all this language, like, you're this, you're the anti-American, but they were really calling you a fag. They were saying, hey, stop being such a fag. And saying, oh, anti-war, peace and love, hip. It's like, not anti-war, it's just stupid, right? Fast forward that shit 15, 20 years later. Now you got Donnie Golden Toilets in there. And Donnie Golden Toilets is saying, hey, what are we doing in Afghanistan? Okay, what's going on there? That shit was stupid. Okay, this Bush and all this is stupid. And now everyone's like, yeah. The same people who 15 years ago were saying towel head this, towel head that, put a crate in the fucking Middle East, are now going, war is stupid, and then you consider this, yeah, because this guy greenlit it now. So now it's like, now I can say that without being considered a fag. That's what he did, because he's not going there like, war is stupid. He's like, hey, war, whatever he fucking did. And now it's like, now I can say that. Now I can have that be my opinion, even though I was there 15 years ago when you were saying all this shit. So it's kind of the same shit with this, right? Somebody fucking, like, Michael Jackson died. I remember you saying, you told me 10 Michael Jackson jokes in a row. Okay, and they were all about this and that. Okay, you told me 10 Amy Winehouse jokes in a row. And they do it over and over and over and over again. Like, see, and even in smaller ways, okay? Even someone like, what's this guy, Mac Miller? This guy, Mac Miller died. And again, no problems. I never really listened. I did not like here, there, whatever. But this guy dies. And now all of a sudden people are, and because it's good for the algorithms. Now they're going, and Mac, remembering Mac today. And Mac would have, and Mac was, okay, first of all, and then and live like Mac. It's like, well, Mac was depressed, okay? Mac had some fucking problems, okay? And you fucking pushed him there, clearly. But now you own his soul. And now he's not living, breathing there to fucking make mistakes, okay? Now he's not there to be a fucking flawed individual. Now he's not there to take smelly shits anymore. So you can kind of manipulate their fucking soul. And sometimes that does wonders for you, because sometimes thousands of years go by and you're the head of some fucking religion. You know what I mean? That's how a lot of this shit works. Or you have a legacy as a leader or whatever, and then his history distorts shit into your favor. Sometimes that helps you out, okay? But it's not a lot of times, especially now, it's like people want to wear you like a fucking shirt. So this guy, going back to the Harry thing, he's 100,000% right. They want to kill her. They want her fucking dead, so they can go, and now paint the mural and go, and now in honor of it says, yeah, because you want her fucking dead, because that's how it's thing. It's like making the sausage, okay? We need to cram you into the thing, turn you into, and then fry you in the pan, and then we eat breakfast. It's like you're not gonna eat breakfast. So kudos to this guy. I was shitting on him. I'm like, you're just another royal who gives a fuck to a bazillion other people. But kudos to you for standing up. The two of them. Because I always said she's my favorite one. Because I was even making, like, you see, talk about making jokes. I was making fucking jokes. I'm like, hey. She blew a ginger, and she opened the briefcase and then blew ginger. The blew in ginger. And then I was like, it's like, okay. And that happened in my head. And to be honest with you, it's like, okay, well, that's what it was. It's like, okay, cheap shot joke. And it's, listen, I wasn't even saying that as an insult. It's actually a great fucking compliment. Listen, that's how you get to the find me a ginger to blow. I'll blow a fucking ginger. Again, find me a briefcase to open and a ginger to blow. If that's how I make the Desi Empire happen, I'm gonna make it fucking happen. Okay? But to a credit, it wasn't just that. I think she generally liked the guy, and I think they liked each other, and now he clearly cares about her because he was doing this whole thing. So now I'm part of the fucking problem. See, and again, I'm chipping away at everybody because now they're gonna clip that. They're gonna clip out this whole thing. That's 20 minutes of fucking schizophrenic rambling. They're going to take the 5 seconds that's good for the whatever, and they're going to say the open briefcase full of ginger, and then it's going to be like, look at it, and then it's like, I just contributed my little bit of fucking shaitan into the ether, right? So I just did that, so I'm guilty as everybody else, okay? But long story short, this is the whole thing, of, again, we were done with that, okay? All that's going into a tree. What I was saying was, okay, we're not talking about the boxing, because we're going to say that for the next time, okay? Thing. The scam is a you thing, okay? You bought into the scam, okay? You saw clothes on the Emperor. There was no clothes on the Emperor, okay? So don't stop telling me, and then it's a place and time. Give me a place and time, and I will fucking paper the night. I said, I'll do the Coney thing. I will fucking go. Give me the fucking place and time. But let me tell you this: when you say give me a place and time, what you're saying is I'm defending a huge mountain of horse shit, right? And I have no means of actually defending it, okay? And I don't want to pay attention, because if I actually admit to you that, hey, she's just another fucking human being, she might as well have just been a toaster salesman in Idaho. Okay, but God, fate had it that just, at the last minute, instead of injecting the soul into that body, because we talk about this with Muhammad Ali, so instead of being Fred from Kansas, it's Muhammad Ali. Okay, instead of being Joan Klabushian from fucking Idaho selling toasters, she's now the Queen of England. Okay, it's just the luck of the fucking stroke. Okay. But now, because this invented thing, which used to have a purpose, because you used to be like, hey, I'm in charge of shit, like using all the powers. Now it's ceremonial horseshit. And I don't do ceremony. And it's ceremonial horseshit. And again, like there are some people are acting like she's literally out there fucking killing people with spears. She's not. But it is a ceremonial. She's like a decoration. She's like a walking museum, or a sitting museum, really. Whatever, museum that can have a stroke, or however she died. But it's thing, she's just another human being. And again, as a human being, somebody's mother, all this kind of shit. I respect that, but I have to respect everybody. Okay, but I don't know everybody. I don't know everybody who dies on a daily basis. I know this person. Or because I know, because she's famous, I have to respect. So you're saying famous people matter more? So you're saying so if the fucking Joan Chakluchian dies in fucking Idaho, I get it. I'm not commentating on her, right? But why does she deserve any less fucking respect than this other one? Because of the scam, because of the illusion. And again, it's a scam that they were born into. So are they just they come up with this game, or are they just playing along with it? Or can you do the best way they can? I don't know. All I'm saying is it's a you thing. Okay, so stop acting. So stop coming at them. But to be fair, when you have them there, when you go place in a time, you can't shout out that Andrew's a pedophile when he's walking down the street, even though he's a fucking. You can't even fucking say that. You can't say facts. Okay, you can't do any of that. But it's place and time. Yeah, place and time. Again, place and time, just like the same way. Is there a place and time for all the gossip and shit? Like so when you drive somebody into a fucking the side of a tunnel, 100 miles an hour. And then kill them and then wear them in your fucking thing and like cry when and have Elton John come out and write on and us. Elton John, we love Elton John here. We're Elton John fans. But this is the whole thing. I'm talking about the ceremony of this, and you start wiping tears. Like, yeah, you know what? That is partially fucking you. So don't get all high and mighty on me. Examine yourself and examine your fucking illusions. Okay? You're gonna ask me to sit here and buy the bag of shit? I'd rather fucking die. I'd rather you shot me in the back with a fucking poison arrow the size of a fucking I give up. I'm getting fucking congested. I don't know why I'm getting fucking congested. But the size of a fucking sub. That's a horrible joke. Horrible. And on that note, you know what? I'm done. Because otherwise I'm gonna ramble on about the royal shit. And I've already wasted enough breath. Okay? I have enough, I spent more time. They've jammed this shit down my fucking throat. And now, and you know what? Here's the thing. I would have respected this a lot more. I would have respected, you know what? She's been the queen for 75 fucking years. You know what? Time to hang this whole operation up. And let's end it on her. Let's end it on that note. And then to be like, you know what? A place has come, and I know we have, and then like I said, England but the problem is United Kingdom shit. There's a difference between United Kingdom and England. We're talking about Jerusalem, like we said, Jerusalem versus God Save the Queen. Not now, God Save the King, whatever, okay? So there's this whole thing of me and this, we talk about this in every other country, all these different, it happens all the time. There's talk about Israel and stuff, there's Israel, as a nation of people, and then there's, Israel, in the scheme of everything. And this happens, there's divide and conquers everywhere, okay? So in, when there was war in the Balkans or whatever, Serbia, Yugoslavia, somebody gets picked by the powers that be. Ukraine, Russia, obviously, there was the aggressive, but all I'm saying is one side gets picked. So there's people who try to do nation, which is the highest form that we know of people uniting and living through life, surviving collectively. Maybe that's gone too. Maybe the days of that are gone. Maybe the days of even Poland and Ireland. It's I'm here going Poland. I don't know. Maybe the days of that are gone too. It's very possible. Maybe that's as much of a scam as anything else. But by and large, okay, but there's England, there's Little England, and then there's the kingdom shit, the empire. Empire, like you said, empires and nations, okay? So, part of English history, but you could have England, the English history, and then English people get mad. It's a West Ham fan, big West Ham fan, and West Ham fan, you know what, to be honest with you, they went way over the top of this all, and they're singing, just for fucking 10 straight days in a row, cancel the fucking game, all this kind of shit, and it's you know what, you're fucking lost, because guess what, now we got Levy on fucking Barcelona. It's been 15 years since I've had a player to root for on Barcelona. It's Ronaldinho. Not a Messi guy, not a Suarez guy. Now, I've always liked Barcelona, but I've literally had 15 years where I'm okay, well, I guess I don't like them anymore because there's nobody to root for. Now we got Levy. My boy Levy's back. Okay, my boy Levy's, he was on Bayern. I'm maybe I'll root for them on, don't really care for Bayern, but I'll watch it for him. Now he's on Barca, and it's you know what? You're not going to play this week? I guess I'm watching and then, listen, they got a king there too, right? They got a king of Spain. If he dies, they're going to do the whole same shit, and then it's okay, well, now it's we're going to ping pong around. This is why you have a team in all across the world. We're going to have one soccer team in every country, and we're going to do a whole video on that too. And we're going to do a whole video on the World Cup and stuff, right? But, it's you're lost, okay? Because you did Queenie, and you're oh, God, fuck, and that's a terrible accent, whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm going to go watch the fucking Barca guys. Or I'm going to watch Napoli fucking tear it up in UEFA. Because you got to root for Napoli too. All these kind of things. You're lost, okay? Because you bought into the scam. Okay? And you're sacrificing something that's local actual culture, like national type shit, for empire. And again, ceremonial empire. So it's not like she was actually stabbing people herself. I get it. And then she wasn't even making the decrees and saying, hey, we're going to invade this one night. She wasn't doing that. But like I said, if she would have ended on that point and said, listen, we're doing this. We did this. We dragged this dead horse as long as we can. Okay, now it's just dead weight, and I'm fucking tired. I'm tired of dragging that horse. And listen, let's end it on a good note. Let's end it with, I would have respected that, and then maybe I would have stepped away and said, okay, you know what? I appreciate you understanding what, and you know, but it's not. It's like, you know, Garcon marches on. Like the line of Garcons marches, and we got fucking Garcon, the chief Garcon. Would be so fucking. I was joking about it before, but genuinely now I realize, talk about TP in the fucking forest, he'd fucking freeze to death in 60 seconds. Okay, literally he'd have hypothermia within like fucking 70 minutes. I'm not even joking. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I've been railing my fucking face off. That's it. A lot to unpack. That's what happened. But you know what? I'm gonna go try to put a fucking nose here. I'm gonna put it on live. I guess this, you know, the two greatest things I've ever stumbled on. You know, people want to talk about, I want to make $1,000, a bunch of $1,000, $1 million, whatever, so I can buy this house, buy this car. You know, the two most important purchases in your life. Fucking, I'm gonna make a plug. They better fucking pay me this. Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo sauce, or Sweet Baby Ray's any kind of sauce, but really Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo sauce, and fucking look at that, fucking too sweaty. It's not gonna stick on. I got the shitty ones. I bought better ones last time. Nasal strips. Okay, if you're like me, you have a crooked nose, you can't fucking breathe, and apparently now you can probably hear this whole time. I've been. Guess what? Best fucking what? $10 again. $10 because I went to fucking write it like an idiot. If I go anywhere, I should have gone to local Chinese. Got a bunch of local Chinese guys are probably giving me half the price, and probably don't fall off my face. Maybe they do fall off my face. Maybe they got some. No, I was gonna say they have aluminum. Well, maybe they have some shit that clogs my heart. He's gonna kill me. I don't know. But as a visual metaphor, this is what I'm leaving you with. Okay, so everybody out there, just take a nice deep breath. I'll see you next time.